Hello, this is my visual metaphor video for my intro block classes in Ireland. We are going to start off with the exceptionalities and behavior part of the project and show a few pictures that I found that I took in Ireland of both positive and negative disabilities. So let's begin. So this is one of the first places I noticed and took a picture of a positive universal design. It was over the train station. At every train station, there was, of course, or steps to go over to get to the other side. But the engineers thought of a very bright idea of, what do you do for people with a disability in a wheelchair or on crutches or whatnot? So they obviously built an elevator, and at every station there is an elevator that will be able to take a person to go to the other side of the train tracks. So what about those people who don't need to get to the other side necessarily, but who are in a wheelchair and need to actually get in the train? Well, they'll need to stop the train for a while, and the security or helpers there will get a ramp out, and they'll be able to easily get the person that's in the wheelchair or electric scooter onto the train by the ramp. Now, while walking in the streets of Greystones, you may notice that alongside of the sidewalks, right next to the road, are these bumps on the ground. Now, they can be used for maybe two different reasons. One, for most likely blind people who are using a walker on the ground, that the end of the walking stick, they'll be able to feel where the bumps are so they know where the end of the road is, or the edge of the road is. And it could probably also be used for a second reason, and I would think if someone was just in a wheelchair and they're pushing themselves, or maybe a little kid in a stroller and their parents are pushing them, that, once you got to the edge, it would be able to slow it down just a little bit, or if they just didn't notice, they could be alerted that the edge of the road was right there, and they could stop their wheelchair or seat that the parent was pushing. Now, when we went to the great harbor city of Dunleary, which has a great massive pier going into the Irish Sea, we were walking out and we noticed that there's kind of two different levels. Just one lower level a little closer to the water on the inside of the harbor, and the upper level on the outside, which you can kind of walk outside of on the right side of that upper level, and you'll be able to kind of walk on some slippery rocks right near the water as well. But what if you wanted to get up from one to the other, and you were in a wheelchair? Well, they built this big ramp, and I believe there's two of them on the pier, and so you'll be able to just ride up on the ramp and on your wheelchair and easily be able to get up to the next level. Now, there is one problem with the pier at Dunleary. If you're not paying attention, you can walk right off the edge, just like Elizabeth's about to do. So it would probably be good if they added a fence in the middle. So if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't be able to fall off and drop off the edge, because that is a few feet of a drop, and that wouldn't be good. So that is the first of the negative of the universal designs. Now, here's another one of the negative universal designs. When we were in Galway at the hostel, in the bathroom, the showers were a few steps above the level of the bathrooms, which is kind of weird. So what if a person with disability needed to, or I guess in a wheelchair, needed to get up and get in and take a shower? It was weird because the actual hostel had an elevator, so it obviously was able to, or a person in a wheelchair or scooter had the access to that hostel because the elevator, but the bathroom didn't have the ability to get to the shower. So that was pretty weird, I thought. Now to end with the universal designs, this is a positive of the universal designs for disabilities. So I was very surprised about this one. At the Dalkey Castle that we went to, um, there's just a small part where you just had to walk up a couple of steps just to get to a certain room with a lot in it. But I was very surprised that they included an elevator in it. So that was very nice of them to just think about, people that had a possibility of touring the castle that had were in a wheelchair or crutches or whatnot, and they made it accessible to them. So that's very good. So that ends the universal design part of the video. Now time for the part for the diverse learners class, which will include pictures with metaphors to go along with them. An impoverished community is an old brick wall. It has stood for a long time and is held together by many bricks, or many people in the community, but there are a lot of cracks in it. The best way to build a new community might have to be to start all over with new methods and a new mindset, and to make a quote-unquote new wall. A cultural diverse community is a black and white horse. Even with its two different colors, or races, it may not look normal, but it can turn into a beautiful and positive place for everyone. Linguistic diversity is a beautiful rainbow. If there were only one color or language, there would be no variety and no beauty. It would just be too plain. When many different colors and languages are put together, there is a diverseness about it. Our lives run with multiple colors, and the world's economy has to run with multiple languages. White privilege is like a beautiful sunrise. For those people who are fortunate to have it available to them, it can be an easy thing to get used to and part of everyday life, but also very beneficial in many ways. However, for those who aren't as fortunate to have it, such as minority people in a community, or those who aren't in a place where they can enjoy sunrise every morning, you would get confused of why the glory of it exists, but also become envious because you wish our economy valued equality for everyone. Gender diversity in a classroom is all the boats in a shipyard. Even though you would think they would act and react in similar ways, just like you think all the boats in a shipyard look the same, girls and boys act in total different ways in a class. Just as every boat in the shipyard have a specific purpose when it goes out to sea, all types of girls and boys in a class make it a special and unique environment. Poverty is a lonely, barren, inhabited island off the coast with nothing on it to do. It is right there for everyone to see, but no one wants to go there. If you get trapped in it, it's tough to get out of. And finally, poverty is also that one bird that is away from the flock all by themselves. It is there for people to see, but not appreciated as much as the rest of everyone else. And that concludes the video. I'd like to thank the education prof so much for an incredible trip to Ireland, and I can't wait to see you all in the fall. Thank you so much.